Imagine living in a world where finding a home isn't just challenging, it's almost impossible. Across the globe, millions of people struggle to secure a roof over their heads as housing prices skyrocket, homelessness rises, and opportunities dwindle. In this video, we'll explore the top 10 countries with the worst housing crises of 2024. These nations highlight the stark reality of a global problem where the dream of a safe and affordable home slips further out of reach for millions. From soaring rents to inadequate living conditions, these countries showcase the urgent need for solutions. Let's dive in.
Number 10. Spain.
While known for its stunning Mediterranean coastline and rich history, Spain grapples with a significant housing crisis. In major cities like Barcelona and Madrid, rising property prices and skyrocketing rents have left young professionals and families struggling to secure affordable homes. With limited new housing construction, overcrowded apartments and shared spaces have become the norm. The Spanish housing market, once a symbol of progress, now reflects the growing inequalities in urban living.
Number 9. Germany.
As one of Europe's strongest economies, Germany's housing market paints a different picture. In cities like Berlin and Munich, the lack of affordable housing has led to widespread dissatisfaction. Rising rents have triggered protests and calls for stricter regulations. With a growing population and sluggish construction rates, the housing shortage continues to worsen, leaving younger generations and low-income families bearing the brunt of this crisis.
Number 8. Venezuela.
In this once thriving South American nation, economic collapse has left millions struggling for basic necessities, including housing. Abandoned construction projects, squatter settlements, and widespread homelessness are stark reminders of Venezuela's prolonged crisis. Families are forced to live in unsafe conditions as hyperinflation and political instability make even modest housing unaffordable. In Venezuela, the right to a secure home feels like a distant reality for many.
Number 7. Kenya.
In Kenya, rapid urbanization has collided with a lack of affordable housing, creating a severe crisis. Informal settlements, known locally as slums, house millions of residents who lack access to basic services. Natural disasters like floods often worsen the situation, displacing thousands without alternative shelter. While the government has announced plans to address the crisis, progress remains slow, leaving many stuck in precarious living conditions.
Number 6. Ireland.
Ireland, renowned for its scenic beauty, faces an increasingly dire housing crisis. In Dublin and other urban centers, rents have surged to unsustainable levels, leaving over 13,000 people homeless, including families with children. Government efforts to tackle the issue have been criticized as insufficient, as high construction costs and restrictive regulations slow down progress. For many, Ireland's housing market has turned into a relentless uphill battle.
Number 5. New Zealand.
Despite its reputation for pristine landscapes and high quality of life, New Zealand's housing crisis is one of the worst among developed nations. The gap between wages and property prices has grown alarmingly wide, particularly in cities like Auckland. Many families are forced into overcrowded living arrangements, while renters face fierce competition and escalating costs. The dream of owning a home remains out of reach for many Kiwis.
Number 4. United States.
In the United States, the housing crisis has reached new heights. Major cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles struggle with rising homelessness alongside soaring housing costs. The cost of renting or owning a home now surpasses what many Americans can afford, leaving families to choose between basic necessities and a roof over their heads. For a nation built on opportunity, the housing crisis is a stark reminder of growing inequalities.
Number 3. United Kingdom.
From the bustling streets of London to smaller towns, the UK faces a housing shortage of over 4 million homes. Rents and property prices have surged to record highs, with public housing waitlists spanning years. Many families are left in overcrowded substandard conditions as the demand for housing continues to outpace supply. The housing crisis in the UK highlights the struggle to balance urban growth with affordable living.
Number 2. Canada.
Known for its vast landscapes and cosmopolitan cities, Canada's housing market is among the least affordable in the world. In Toronto and Vancouver, home prices have skyrocketed, with middle-class families increasingly priced out. Homelessness is on the rise, and renters face bidding wars for even modest apartments. Despite government initiatives, the housing crisis in Canada shows no signs of easing, leaving millions without hope for affordable solutions.
Number 1. Australia.
In Australia, the housing crisis has reached unprecedented levels. Cities like Sydney and Melbourne are now ranked among the most unaffordable in the world. Property prices have surged by over 40% in just a few years, locking out first-time buyers and forcing families into long-term rentals. With limited options for affordable housing, the pressure continues to mount, making Australia's housing crisis one of the most severe globally. Housing is more than just a place to live. It's a foundation for stability and growth. These countries remind us that the housing crisis is a global issue, impacting millions in different ways. The question remains, how can we ensure that everyone has a place to call home? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to
Like and subscribe for more. Hey!